is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168.
He's the best. I got to give it to him, Bud Bench, right? He's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he
world champion, as you know. And I've been a 3-division world champion. I've only won one of the belts. I don't know what it is to be undisputed. I don't know that feeling. Do you understand? What he did last night is
Stephen A. Smith pushed back against Floyd Mayweather's attempt to play down Terence Crawford's latest triumph over Canelo. He stressed that Crawford has made history by becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes, a feat no fighter has ever matched. According to Smith, this wasn't just another win, but the defining moment of Crawford's career, securing his status as one of boxing's true legends. He added that Crawford's greatness stands on its own and deserves full respect, no matter how Mayweather frames it.
Now, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger. Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab.
Jeff Mayweather didn't mince words when talking about Terence Crawford's stunning upset of Canelo. He noted that Canelo had long been the undisputed king of his division, carrying both dominance and prestige, only to be toppled by a challenger willing to move up in weight and face him head-on. For Jeff, this wasn't just a loss, it left a permanent mark on Canelo's legacy. He emphasized that the careers of great champions are remembered by defining moments, and for Canelo, that moment will forever be the shocking defeat to Crawford.
What did this do to his legacy? Because I don't think he caught, the Floyd fight didn't give him, people didn't really look down on, because he was, even though he had 40 fights, he was still, fighting one of the greatest ever and an absolute master. And Bivol, he went up weight classes to win. But now he's fighting a smaller guy, a great fighter, but a smaller guy. Does this damage his legacy in any way?
I think it does. I think it does because, the one thing is that, you were ruling, you were the king of that weight class. And the king of that weight class for a good while. And I think that, he had a huge following because, he became the face of boxing.
And even though it's another, future Hall of Famer, still losing a guy come up a couple weight classes, kind of makes.
Stephen A. Smith was in awe of Terence Crawford's victory, calling it a moment unlike anything boxing has seen. He said being there to witness Crawford move up in weight and dominate Canelo was a privilege in itself. Smith described the performance as a career masterpiece that not only secures Crawford's spot among the legends but also raises the bar for what greatness in boxing truly means. To him, this wasn't just a win, it was a turning point that will be remembered for generations.
Moving up 2 weight divisions, really 3 in my mind, because we only fought 1 fight at the junior middleweight division. So he's really moving up from 147 pounds, okay? Terence Bud Crawford moving up to the 168-pound limit in an effort to claim the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world from the grasp of Saul Canelo Alvarez. Now, I was there because let me tell you something right now. There's very, very few sporting events in the world that are better than a super fight in Vegas. I can tell you that right now. There's very, very few events. Props to Nick Khan.
After the fight, Terence Crawford's trainer made it clear his fighter has nothing left to prove. He said Crawford's achievements already command respect, no matter what critics claim. The real frustration, he added, is that even after defeating one of boxing's biggest stars, Crawford still faces outside narratives. For the trainer, Crawford isn't chasing future opponents. His win over Canelo alone secured his place in history. This moment wasn't about patting a resume, but about cementing a legacy that can't be shaken.
And his well-renowned trainer, two-time trainer of the year and future Hall of Fame trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, recently did an interview in which Bomac stated that a fight is not happening. And this particular fight is a fight that everybody wanted to see Canelo Alvarez take, and Canelo Alvarez refused to take this fight with a 28-year-old two-division world champion, reigning WBC light heavyweight, former two-time WBC super middleweight, the Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, who's one of my favorite fighters and a great person, David, the Mexican Ecuadorian monster Benavidez, who has 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout, stands at 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach, and fights at 175. But the entire time David Benavidez was fighting at 168, Canelo Alvarez was brought up, and he never accepted the fight. And so, with that said, now people are trying to project this fight on Terence Crawford. And they're saying that Terence Crawford needs to take the fight. So Bomac yesterday did an interview, and Bomac said they're not fighting David Benavidez. And so now people are pushing this notion that Terence Crawford is ducking and Terence Crawford is scared of David Benavidez. And if he don't fight David Benavidez, according to Boxing News 20.
Timothy Bradley offered one of the boldest takes yet, directly comparing Terence Crawford to Floyd Mayweather. He argued that Crawford now belongs at the very top of the all-time greats list. For Bradley, the win over Canelo wasn't just another victory, it redefined what pound-for-pound greatness really means. While Mayweather mastered his era, Bradley said Crawford proved he could push the sport even higher by beating Canelo at his peak. In his eyes, the triumph didn't just boost Crawford's resume, it placed him among boxing's rarest legends.
It might be too late, because guess what? He done. Ain't nothing else he needs to do. Ain't nothing else he needs to do in boxing. Yep, y'all doubt him now? Y'all doubt him now? I saw some of y'all goofies on y'all channels. You come here and you get the real over here. That's what you get over here. You want the real? You want a real breakdown from a real fighter, a Hall of Famer? That's what you do. You come right here and you gonna get the real and you gonna get the truth. Dang it. That's what you gonna get. Leave them other lames alone and come right on over here. Yeah, and get the truth and nothing but the truth. I've been trying to tell y'all for years about this. Been trying to tell y'all for years about Terence Crawford.
Roy Jones Jr. offered a measured perspective, pointing out the crucial difference between Floyd Mayweather's win over Canelo and Terence Crawford's. He explained that when Mayweather fought Canelo, the Mexican star was still young and developing, which allowed Floyd's experience and ring IQ to carry the night. Crawford, on the other hand, faced a fully matured, battle-tested champion who had dominated his division for years. Despite being the smaller man, he dismantled that seasoned version of Canelo with authority. For Jones, that contrast makes Crawford's victory truly extraordinary.
He's already done too much, and he wasn't. I don't see that hunger in him anymore. I don't see those changes anymore. He fights flat-footed, throws one punch at a time. He's not fast anymore, and that's why I picked Crawford by decision.
Are you surprised how easy it was?
Look, not that I'm surprised, because what I just told you, I think Crawford is very talented, and Crawford is hungry to become a legend. He wanted to become that three division undisputed. He wanted to make history by going up 2 divisions to beat Canelo, one of the greatest of all time. So he was hungry for it. I think Canelo has already done so much, has made so much money, that he's not hungry anymore.
Do you think possibly that Crawford is up there with Pacquiao or Mayweather?
I think in accomplishments, he's 3 division undisputed, moved up 2 divisions to beat Canelo. So he's probably he's accomplished more than Mayweather for sure. Mayweather never became undisputed, but that doesn't mean he's better than Mayweather. I think in a fight at welterweight, Mayweather in his prime would beat Crawford, and Pacquiao in his prime would probably beat Crawford. But Crawford has accomplished more.
Do you think Crawford should retire after this or fight someone else?
Look, I think a rematch would be fucking good for Crawford to just beat him again and do the same thing. If Canelo doesn't have any changes, if he doesn't, he needs to do a lot of changes. Canelo needs to do a lot of changes. I think a rematch would do triple the money that he did in this fight and then retire. But I
Duke McKenzie admitted he was stunned by Terence Crawford's performance, saying Canelo had no answers for the pressure, speed, and precision he faced. He called it one of the most complete displays modern boxing has seen, proving Crawford to be nearly untouchable even against elite opponents. McKenzie added that Crawford didn't just collect titles, he set a standard of excellence so high that only a few fighters in history could ever match it.